So dummy variables. Dummy variables are nothing but the same nominal variables we just talked about. We talked about two broad categories of variables, categorical and numerical. And in categorical, you will have this nominal variables, which are sort of like a variables which doesn't have a defined order so defined order. Like for example, married versus single, marital status, male, female, smoker, non-smoker, and so, right? So you will, most real world data will have variables like this, okay, which are categorical in nature, right? If you wanted to understand, say, how seasonality plays a role on quarterly revenues, you'll want to for a given product. And if you want to sort of assign a number to a quarter, you will actually code them as a dummy variable, because to a model or to an algorithm, quarter one has no meaning, right? So you cannot, or say the fact that you're calling a particular row male, assigning a value called male, or a female, it has no meaning to an algorithm. So you have to convert them into numbers for models to do their magic on, right? And this will basically be a process. You will be doing it over and over again. So I'll just go through this. Okay, so remember we were dealing with this data frame, okay, with this data set, which is a bank marketing data set. So we're going to look at this housing, right? So this housing, you say folks who have housing and folks who don't, right? So of course the model doesn't know what a yes or a no is, right? So you have to somehow code that, right? So we'll just make a temporary copy. I don't want to we don't want to change this original data set. Okay, so let's make a temp copy, and we're going to assign a value of 1 to wherever housing is yes, and a value of 0. Of course 1 and 0 is just, you can do it the other way as well, right? So it has no there is no definite order. It's not like 1 is better than 0. Okay, so you do that, and you will see that the housing column in this temp data frame, which is exactly the same data frame as this DF, has values of 0s and 1. Okay, so that is one way to do it. Okay, another way is you define a function, right? And you define a function where you say, if the column has a value called yes, you assign it a value of 1. If it has a value of 0, you assign it a value of if it has a value of no, it will assign it a value of 0, right? And that's what we are doing. We are again making it a copy. We are doing the same thing, applying. So you see there is this apply feature. We say temp.housing.apply, and you apply this this function or this method, and you will see that the housing has these values. Okay, so this is a little bit when you get to deal with a lot more variables, it becomes a little bit cumbersome, right? Similarly, this, you don't want to define functions for variables which could be many in a given data frame, right? And that's where we get into this thing called a lambda function. Okay, lambda function is basically a direct application of a function to a column without separately specifying a function. Okay, so I'll show you an example. So here we are saying, okay, I'll just copy this. Okay, and you see that when you apply, okay, so temp.housing.apply lambda x 0 if x, which is any value in this column, assign it a value of 0 if it is no, else 1, right? And you take that and you directly apply to the housing column, and you see that you get your your column of housing yes or no converted into 0 and 1. Okay, so you'll do that over and over again. So I just wanted to run by that.